Today we are going to discuss something very insightful. Why addiction is only a subset of depression. Why your addiction refuses to go after chanting affirmation, after promising yourself this is the last time you're going to do it, and all of the failed techniques in putting that stuff at bay. Why should you listen to me? You should listen to me not because of my scattered hair, not because I'm without microphone, but I give very unique insights as touching life problems. At the course of this discourse, you would understand fundamentally we are not spilling regurgitated concepts. Every single thing you hear today is indeed unique. I do not consult other people's teaching. I rely solely on my experience. And in fact, consulting other people's teaching is a consequence of transformation, which will then be applied into my own life. Then the experience derived coupled with uniqueness leads to the teaching. The point I'm trying to highlight is consulting other people's teaching for the sole purpose of teaching others is indeed a scam. Because I believe your results in every sphere is what gives you authority to address matters. So conjuring up something that is logically sound doesn't mean you're enlightening the public, because all you've done is ship teachings from elsewhere, distill it with personal anecdotes, ship it to your audience, and because of the halo effect, people are receptive. Applying it to their own life, seeing it not work, compounds their misery even further. I've said this countless times that the worst thing you can do to a depressed person is to make him fail. It compounds the depression. Am I saying that on your journey to success you would never fail? That's far from it. But you need those early wins in the infancy of your career to build confidence. Imagine coming from the slums and having your first action, not first business, first action fail. It can be demoralizing. And for some people in the audience who are mentally fortitude enough to handle loss, the truth, not everyone is. And I used to think like you. Oh, who cares? You tried one time, do it again. Who gives a shit about your crying and all of that? But I've come to the conclusion that most people aren't as smart and as wise as you are. So I come down to your level, respond and interact with you accordingly. Addiction is an outlet of depression. Addiction is an outlet of depression, and depression has various causes. Let's run through them. There's no such thing as clinical depression. Depression is a signal to your brain that something in your life is wrong. There's no way on God's green earth you would feel hungry and drink water. No, there's a unique signal hunger sends to the brain. In that vein, there's a unique signal depression is sending to you. Depression is a signal indicating that your life is shit. And I'm sure people in the comment section would try and bring the statistics of billionaires who murder themselves. It's understandable, because when you're a billionaire and you go to the clinic and you're diagnosed as clinically depressed and they say, don't worry, it's not your fault, you're depressed, but if you keep coming back and being in a loop of this chair while we reopen old wounds and talk about how sad you are and convince you to believe there is no cure, this is going to be the rest of your life. I'll be suicidal if I was in that situation. The only reason you get up every single day is hope. Hope for something better. Hope for a new tomorrow. Hope. That's the only reason thrive. Once that hope is eliminated, there's nothing else to live for. I'm trying as much as possible to condense this teaching because I'm a very busy man. There is a lot on my table. I mean, literally, if I could tilt the camera, I'm looking directly at my desk. There is a lot for me to cover. So let's go over it. Addiction is an outlet of depression. The reason you are addicted to a substance or to an activity is not necessarily, in fact, before we move further, every single one in the comment section would concur when I say you get to a point in engaging in that activity where it no longer gratifies you. Take porn, for instance. Get to a point where porn is no longer interesting, but you still consume it, not for satisfaction, but to keep you sane. You are no longer interested. You consume that content, not because you're lustful, but because you're bored, and that helps keeps you sane. Do you understand? Exactly. The addiction, trying to combat that addiction by choosing to stop is a futile attempt, because you're not addicted to the activity, you're addicted to how it makes you feel, in the moment. So the thing you have to correct is the much larger problem, which is depression. And one of the ways you can combat depression is to identify why you're depressed in the first place. I have an array of analogies to back this up, but I'll give you one and we'll cut it. For instance, you feel you're stuck in life. You feel every single person is making progress aside you. You feel your college buddy just got a Mercedes and you still live in your mom's basement. It could be depressing. You look left and right and there's nothing that you're currently doing that expects success. There is no daily consecration. There's no goal you're working towards. That in and of itself can create a vacuum that implodes you to depression. Find out why you're depressed, attack it head on, and you'll be fine. As always, my friends, a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.